Welcome to AlphaCars. My name is Dimitri and we are checking out 1991 Mercedes 420 SEL, an amazing time capsule, and thanks to the previous owner, one and only owner, a couple from Ohio doctors that bought this car new, serviced it, and maintained it and preserved it to be in such amazing condition. So let's take a closer look at this vehicle. Let me show you all the fine details and why this vehicle is so special. Let's get to the bottom of it. So let's start by simply walking around the vehicle, and there are literally no imperfections and blemishes on the exterior or the interior. We'll get to that in a moment. But let's just take a walk around the vehicle from the distance. We're going to get up close to each panel. We'll take the time, because in this condition you don't find vehicles of this vintage period that often, especially a sedan. The roadsters, the convertibles, the coupes, those you might be able to find them. I'm sure they're out there, but very, very few sedans were preserved to be in this amazing condition. And this vehicle only has, mileage-wise, 34,802 miles. Disregard that, 31,802 miles. Check that out. So the glass is impeccable, and another just absolutely amazing detail is that all the aluminum, which from the distance may look as chrome, it is not chrome. It is coated and treated aluminum, and most often, even on the newer ones, you would see these parts with some stains. So the aluminum parts on this vehicle are incredibly smooth and original, and no stains or imperfections. They're nice and straight. They're not wavy, because when they get removed and reinstalled, they get wavy. This car is 100% original. Speaking of the originality, of course, all the body panels are original. The paint is absolutely original, with exception of two sections on two doors, and I'm going to show you those. Those were cosmetic repairs that were done, and they're done beautifully. I was not able to see the difference. Only with the paint meter was I able to detect those areas. So let's take a look at the chrome. Another amazing detail. The chrome is straight. It's not pitted. And look at how panels, they're so tight. There are no gaps. Everything lines up properly, which is an indication that this vehicle, the body parts have not been removed and reinstalled. They have not been apart. The cladding, another awesome detail on this vintage S-Class. It is slightly flatter color, so the bumpers transition into the cladding on the door and the rocker panel trim on the bottom. They are impeccable, not a one single chip or gouge. Just in great condition. And again, look at the front bumper, at the quality of the finish, and of course the chrome and the famous signature Mercedes grille. Impeccable, no chips, no dings. The headlamps with the wipers are original. Everything is nice and clear, no chips, no cracking, no fading either. And I'll say it again, everything works on this car as designed. So, taking a look at the doors, driver's door, door jamb, sill plate, original stickers, passenger door, rear passenger door, And look at all these little screws right here. There has not been any tools into those Phillips screws. Everything lines up nicely. Check out the line. No warpage anywhere in the trim. And look at the bottoms of the doors, and rubber is nice and soft. Door jamb. Look at the door lock. Again, impeccable condition, no signs of any tools that have been used on the hardware. Condition of ashtrays, and yes, each ashtray has its own cigarette lighter or 12-volt outlet. Since most of the population doesn't smoke anymore, this would be great for your phone, so you could charge your phone from your own door. We'll get to the interior in just a moment. Let's get to look at the right side front door and a right side rear door. So we have the same impeccable condition throughout. It is really a museum quality vehicle. In fact, any level museum, even if this was a Mercedes factory museum, any museum would be proud to display this vehicle, because it's unrestored and close to factory new condition all around. Everything works, all the parts are original. Look at clarity of the mirrors. Finish on the mirrors is impeccable. And before we acquired the vehicle, I researched obviously the VMI, Vehicle Maintenance Inquiry. I looked up the dealer code, and what I noticed that it was the same dealer who sold the vehicle and serviced the vehicle. And I said, you know what, let me try it. I'm just gonna call and see if I can get a service manager on the phone. And I left a voicemail, and what's amazing, in 20 minutes I got a call back from the service manager of this dealership, and he said, yeah, I know this car, and we went through whole service history. It's a one-owner vehicle that was serviced by the same dealership, and he knew the vehicle. So we are making our way to the right rear door. The same impeccable condition, no blemishes to report. Sill plates, door jambs, amazing, like new condition. And the smell, which I cannot transmit through the camera, but I can certainly tell you that the smell inside this vehicle is consistent with relatively new, couple years old Mercedes of this vintage, and I do remember those because I used to work on them. The carpets are nice and soft, very, very soft, not over cleaned, not over used by extractor of any kind. All the fins work properly. And I did drive this car for a few days. It is absolutely stunning. It's absolutely amazing. We're making our way to the interior, and let's look at the headliner, which is impeccable. The leather is nice and soft, which is truly amazing. The vehicle has the medical kit, which is unused and in original condition, and there's another compartment for your personal goodies back here. Again, I cannot express how I am thoroughly impressed with this vehicle. Everything from quality of the wood and wood finish, the condition of the interior parts and how they held up. They are not warped, which is stunning. The condition of bolsters. Check this out. The condition of armrest. Look at the wood around the switches, no scuffing. The shifter feels brand new. Everything in this car feels brand new. It's literally like going back in time. Even the anodized coating on parts feels and looks brand new. Look at the bolster on the driver's side, the outside bolster. The steering wheel. And then, of course, the dashboard that is absolutely impeccable. And yes, it has the original owner's manual, the card for the radio code, and all the little things that supposed to come with this vintage Mercedes. So we're going to close the doors. And what's left on the outside? Here's a fun spot that is pretty amazing. Now, when you look at this, you'd be like, okay, so what's so amazing about this? This is a 1991 vehicle, and given that it's only spent on the road 31,000 miles, but it had to be filled with gas in order to be driven this many miles, actually this fewer miles. And look at the condition of this edge. There's not a one single scratch, not to mention a chip or any kind of stain or nothing in this area. The storage spring for the stainless steel, still original stainless steel gas cap, it's still there, and it still has a nice yellow anodized coating. All the stickers are in place. The hardware is impeccably clean. So that's definitely a great spot. And while we're on the side of the vehicle, I will mention that, and without the paint meter, I would never be able to tell. But actually this section of the door from here to here, there was probably some light scratch or something, and that got refinished. And the shop that did the work, they're brilliant because they made a transition, and I could tell by the paint meter that that's where the paint stopped, and the transition they made is absolutely amazing. We have a paint technician that can do that, and he has over 30 years of experience, and he does it with the proper surface preparation and using the right clear coat, and then doing, like with a paintbrush, some blender technique. It's amazing. And I guess, I'm pretty sure that's what was done here. On this door, whatever was done, they refinished from here to here. There was no accident. It was purely cosmetic repair because there's no filler anywhere on this door. We tested with a paint meter, and it just speaks for the light coat of clear coat. And as you can see right here, it's all these surfaces, they're all original. The door has not been apart. These, you know, the hardware and everything is in place just like it should be. So that's just a one little disclosure I'll mention, but the color matching is stunning, and it's absolutely perfect. And without the paint meter, and I have a trained, very good eye on paintwork, I'm not able to detect it. So as far as disclosures, there are two other things I'll show you. There was a light, again, I cannot even see it from here, but right in this area, let me just pick the angle. Yeah, under this lighting, I don't see it. On the direct sun, you can see there's a light surface scratch on the clear coat that was buffed. And, oh, I guess it's right here. So let me just see where I'm pointing. So I'm going to pick an angle. And there's a tiny little thing right here that you can barely see right here. So that's one. And there's one blemish on the trunk, which again, you have to be on the direct sun to really see it, but it's right in this area. And there's a light discoloration in the clear coat right here. We have not refinished it because we want to keep the paint original, but this is something we can gladly do for the next owner. So with that said, those are the only things we have to, you know, disclose. Other than that, the car is absolutely, truly amazing. Even with those things, it is still truly amazing. So let's get in the engine compartment. The 4.2 liter legendary Mercedes V8. This is already the upgraded generation with the double row timing chain and virtually no known issues from the track record standpoint. As far as condition of this vehicle, let's just look at this together. And it is absolutely amazing. If you look at the condition of aluminum, anodized parts, metal parts, hardware. For those of you that viewing the video and have restored vehicles or participated in the Mercedes restoration, you would appreciate condition of this car. And it is unrestored. It is the original condition. Look at that exhaust crossover pipe in the back. It still looks like brand new. Look at all these linkages and vacuum lines. And what's amazing, the rubber is still nice and soft on all the connections, including the wiring harness. They're nice and flexible and soft. So it is truly amazing how this car was preserved. This rubber piece is just so incredibly soft. The mounts, they're nice and soft. The ignition wires look original, and I know the car was serviced by Mercedes-Benz dealership, so maybe those were replaced, but everything is routed correctly, uses proper brackets for everything, for the, as you can see, the vacuum line, just like it's supposed to be. Look at all these connections. Where do you find another vehicle like this? Well, if you check out our inventory on alphacars.com, see if this vehicle is available, because it's probably the only one in existence in this condition. Certainly at the time of this video, there's nothing even remotely close on the market. Well, let's get the engine started. Let's hear the motor. Oh, nice and comfortable seat. These are awesome seats. And look at the ignition. Look at the ignition key and the cylinder. It's not scratched at all. It looks like brand new. When you put the key in, it feels nice and tight. So let's turn the key. Oh, this vehicle runs amazing. And while we're here inside, we're gonna confirm that the mileage is 31,802 miles. The condition of switches, everything is nice and tight, just like it's supposed to be on the newer vehicle. All the writing is still there. It's not smudged or reconstructed. The cruise control works beautiful. The climate control works awesome, and all the switches are 100% correct. And look at this. This is one of the early generation of the traction control and acceleration control. So this car has that. And again, look at the beautiful, just beautiful wood. All the switches work awesome. Window motors have consistent speed on all 4 doors. It doesn't stop anywhere to think like, should I go up or down? The sunroof. Let's do the sunroof. You have to hold the switch. Sunroof works awesome. No unusual sounds or scraping. And let me show you the condition of the stainless steel, and again the hardware and the lubrication. You can see everything was done on time by the Mercedes dealer as far as maintenance goes. Look at all that. As I mentioned before, all the mirrors are nice and clear, including the rear view mirror. There it is. And we're finally going to get in the engine compartment. The engine runs very, very stable, no shaking, very, very smooth, no ticking. all the belts, no hissing sounds. It's just a really nice running engine. I'm going to grab the linkage for the throttle and give it a little bit of rev. I'm very pleased with this motor. I had a pleasure in working on many of these motors, and this is how they're supposed to sound when they're brand new. Before we close the hood, I want to point out condition of some of the hardware, specifically on the fenders. It's all original. Nothing has been moved or turned. All the stickers in proper places, and all the hardware, again, there's no wrenching on any of the hardware pieces. Check this out. And we're going to run along the fender. We're also going to peek at the hinges that are all original. And of course, we checked all the VIN tags. We paint metered the whole car. It has all original paint, except for those two areas. The windshield wipers, the famous windshield wipers, and the headlamps work awesome. And we did not talk about the wheels. Of course, these are original rims in amazing, close to perfect, if not perfect condition. There are no gouges, no curb rush anywhere. Check them out. And we're going to try to get the car on the lift so you can see the underbody, which is another amazing scene. Even more amazing because the underbody is as clean as the engine compartment or the interior of this vehicle. And all the pillar trim is chip free. No chips anywhere on the roof. Those are common areas where you get chips, and of course it's amazing how the hood and adjacent fenders didn't get your typical road rush chips. Well, low mileage explains it, but still, just when and where this car was driven also makes a big difference. Oh, cargo area. I was going to take it for a quick drive, but let's take a look at the cargo area. Original floor mats. Nice color of the trim. Again, this car, the exterior color, the interior color, the trunk trim color is something pretty special all around. The vehicle has new fuel filter and the new Bosch fuel pump, and these are the boxes from it. The condition of everything here is incredibly clean. So, and of course, we observing and pointing out all the VIN tags are in place, and again, all the hardware has not been touched anywhere on the vehicle. And look at the condition of the lock and the striker and the lock. It's like new. So it's windy, so hopefully sound is okay. And let's take this 420 SEL for a quick drive. I'm gonna close the sunroof. Gonna put the vehicle in drive. And let's get going with our quick test drive. Yeah, and that is the Humvee that we just finished the restoration and installed a bunch of accessories. Here's the younger brother of this 420 SEL. That's the S550, and we're just going to turn around. The engagement of the gears is nice and smooth. No banging. The throttle is very smooth engagement, very, very responsive. Here's AlphaCars delivery area. Our service center, mechanical service bays, reconditioning bays, and look at that view with the big classic Mercedes star and endless hood. Well, it's not as big of a hood as the Cadillac that we have now in inventory. I was really amazed. That's like a landing strip. So we're getting on the back roads and just gonna shift through gears, step on the brake. Impeccable engine performance. Shifting as silk. Very, very, very nice. Very, very smooth. Handling is beautiful. The steering response is top-notch, as you would expect from a German car, not to mention Mercedes's flagship. Wow, I forgot how these vehicles drive. They drive better than the new S-Class. Shh, we have to be quiet about that. Mercedes doesn't want to know. Okay. Yeah, it operates, it feels like a new vehicle. Nice uphill, which is gonna downshift a little bit. Wow. It's got a nice downshift and plenty of performance and torque. I had to back off on the throttle because it's a quiet neighborhood. But it definitely was ready to deliver on the request to accelerate. I stepped down on the throttle, not all the way, but just enough for the vehicle to, for the transmission to kick down a gear. Absolutely stunning performance. Wow. And it rolls down the road like the engine is not running. It feels like you're always just rolling down the road in neutral with the engine shut off. It's so quiet. The cabin is quiet. And of course the sound deadening materials used by Mercedes to quieten the engine and suspension work. We're going to pick up a little bit of speed. Again, beautiful shift, very, very smooth performance. And I had to step on the brake a couple times, and it was very nice. No one is behind, so I'm gonna hit the brakes a little harder. Yeah, excellent performance and straight on. It doesn't pull the car anywhere. And the underbody of this vehicle is so clean. It's just like, it almost feels like it's never been on the road. That's your view of the rear seat and through the back window. Yeah, the radius of turning. Let's check that out. So I'm gonna turn the steering wheel all the way to the right and see how much room we have. There's probably no more than, I would say, 25 feet to that curb. So let's see. Wow. Look at how much room we still have to the curb. The radius of turning on Mercedes cars is simply unreal. Look at this. Look at this. We have about 3 feet, and we're pretty much, it feels like we're going around the center of the vehicle. So let's park the vehicle and do another quick walk around. I leave the engine running. Look at the sides, absolutely impeccable. Not a one single ding or a chip. Yeah, we'll get more of the underbody in a separate video, but just want to show you a quick take on some of these underbody parts. So thank you very much for viewing this video from AlphaCars. My name is Dimitri, and please subscribe to our channel, and please let us know and check those videos that you really like. We would like to do more of those videos. So thank you so much for viewing this video. You can always find more information about this Mercedes and other vehicles that we carry at alphacars.com, or simply give us a call at 978-263-9000. Thank you very much for viewing this video.